there, and welcome to Lost in Literature. It's so nice to be back here and doing a poem for you. Um, I have chosen this poem, Haunted Houses by H.W. Longfellow. When I read just the title of the poem, I was thinking to myself, oh, I know all about these ghosts and these altar worlds and whatnots. I've read enough of horror fiction, so this should be a cakewalk. And then as I read on, it turned out to be something else. In the sense, it made me think. It wasn't the usual, you know, kind of stuff that writers throw out, poets and writers throw out about haunted houses with all those scary, creepy footsteps and sounds and whatnots. This is a little different. So let's start. All houses wherein men have lived and died are haunted houses. What a radical statement that is. So, all houses all over the world where people have lived, they are haunted. At least that's what Longfellow claims here. Let's see what he means. Through the open doors, the harmless phantoms on their errands glide with feet that make no sound upon the floors. So, according to him, um, you have these harmless spirits, inoffensive, harmless. They don't uh, injure or kill anybody, or they're not menacing in any sense. They're just going about all their errands and they glide. He has suggested these smooth movements, aerial movements, literally, and their feet makes no sound upon the floor. They're just gliding, moving in and out, going about their business. We meet them at the door or the stairs, along the passages, they come and go. Impalpable impressions on the air, a sense of something to and fro. So there you are. That's a kind of um, impression that he has given us about the ghosts. These ghosts are not the scary kinds that turn up, on top of a staircase or at the end of the dark passage and say boo to you. But fact is, they do frequent doorways, entrances, staircases, and they also move along passages in the house. These horror movies where you have these long passages leading to some bedroom, and then you have funny things going on there. You'll find this creature hanging upside down right on top, and then, kind of twisting or turning the head in impossible ways and showing you their fangs. This is nothing like that. These are ordinary ghosts. They're part of the spirit world. They come and they go, and their movements are very easy, soft, inoffensive. All right? And in fact, they only create these impressions, and that too impalpable, something that we cannot see or hear or touch. They're just impressions, right? Um, Impacts on the air, a little disturbance in the air. We feel, yeah, there is somebody moving about along with us. And that's all, we feel. Uh, See, Our life is not uh, just flat in a house. Every household has memories. Take the house where I live in. This is my childhood home. This is where I grew up with my parents. And there are always memories, connected with different rooms, different parts of the house. The occupants earlier, when the house was full with my aunts, grandparents, my father. Now none of them are there, but still we can feel, the kind of impact, what they did in each room, what they said. We remember these things, and thus it becomes multidimensional. A house, it carries memories, a sense of something that has happened before. All right? And we get these things kind of communicate themselves to us in some odd ways. There are more guests at the table than the hosts invited. The illuminated hall is thronged with quiet, inoffensive ghosts, as silent as the pictures on the wall. So, once again, when the hosts in this house, they invite people over for dinner, it is not just the people who have come, you know, the the people whom we can see, talk to, the real people. But there are also other people present, and these people are not living people. They are impressions. They are in, impalpable, uh, insubstantial uh, presence. Not bodily presence, but something that we feel. We get the feeling, oh my God, this room is full of shadows of the past people, past memories, past events. So there are more people than the hosts invited. And these people don't interfere in any way with the proceedings. In fact, there they are, as silent as the pictures we see on the wall, unidimensional, meaning to say just flat pictures showing somebody who was our ancestors, our ancestors, maybe our grandmother, our uncle, people who are dead and gone, and whom we have framed and put on the wall. And these people are there. I mean, when we look at them, we do get kind of memories about them kind of get kindled. The memories get kindled in our minds. So there they are. It's not just us in the dining room at the table. It's also full of silent, ghostly guests. Can we call them guests? They were the previous owners or people who lived in that house. The stranger at my fireside cannot see the forms I see, nor hear the sounds I hear. He but perceives what is, while unto me all that has been in the past is visible and clear. So suddenly the poem moves on from an objective presentation to a more subjective one. The narrator here, the I here in this particular stanza is a ghost, an ancestor, somebody from the past. And he can see far more than the stranger at his fireside. Look at the possessive note here, my fireside. The stranger cannot see much, he can only see what's real. But there are other unreal forms that the ghost can perceive, and he can hear many sounds echoing in that room from the past, while the stranger can only sense the reality, the immediate reality. But the narrator here, a person from another time who had lived in the same house, he can see so many things. Everything is visible and clear to him, not something hazy. All right? He feels the immediacy of what he can see, even though he belongs to the past. We have no title deeds to house or lands, owners and occupants of earlier dates. From graves forgotten stretch their dusty hands and hold in Morthmain still their old estates. So we are continuing in that ghostly narrator's tone. We do not have any documents anymore of possession to this property because we have passed into another realm, the realm of the dead. We are no longer alive, all right? We are the owners, we are the occupants of the past. And even though we are not around, still we stretch our hands dusty from the grave where we are buried. We stretch our dusty hands. We reach out and we still try to hold our estates, our houses, our property in our dead hands. Mort mean. We don't want to relinquish what was ours. So you see, there is a clear connection established with the past. Then how can we say that the poet is not right when he says that all houses are haunted? Believe me, every house has its past. All right? So that's something now we have to agree with him. And why do these spirits linger? They are reluctant to let go their earthly existence because there is a continuous connection established. So we'll go on now. What kind of time is the poet presenting? Let's see. The spirit world around this world of sense floats like an atmosphere, and everywhere wafts, moves in the air through these earthly mists and vapors dense, a vital breath of more ethereal air. Oh my God. Now he's telling us, the poet, about the spirit world that always surrounds our world of reality, world of sense. We are always connected to the spirit world, all right? And it's like it floats around us. It's there like a bubble, like an altar world. And there we are in the midst of it, believing that we are now the legal heirs of earth. But all around us, this bubble of the past surrounds us just like an atmosphere, and everywhere it wafts, it moves, all right, um, through these earthly mists and vapors dense. Now, these things, mists and vapors, they kind of make the atmosphere rather opaque. We can't see through it. When there is a mist, you cannot see beyond it. Visibility is cut to the minimum. So these things wander, and these wander along, all right, around the um, world of reality. And when these mists and vapors become dense, and the world, the people in the world, they are completely fogged up with doubts and with all kinds of things. That is when this spirit world, this air of the spirit world, the breath of the spirit world becomes essential, indispensable to us, because this delicate breath of air, this whiff from the past, will guide us. We don't realize it, but many things have, you know, a touch with the past, and that will guide us. All right? We suddenly realize what we should do. Like, take for example all the wars that took place. Time and again, we realize how destructive it was, and how destructive it is, and it'll be in the future if we take that course of settling differences. So these influences from the past definitely reach out. There is a history surrounding the world, covering the world, all right? And very often it gives us insights, okay? Our little lives are kept in equipoise by opposite attractions and desires, the struggle of the instinct that enjoys and the more noble instinct that aspires. Now, the poet Longfellow has moved altogether into another dimension. All right? Now he's talking about our lives and how it is kept in balance, essentially by two things. Two things bring balance to our lives. What are they? One is our bodily, instinctive needs. Many things happen in our body and they are controlled by our instinct. It is not handled mechanically by us. It's all part of our physical being, our body. We feel hunger, we eat. We feel cold, we wear a sweater. We feel hot, we drink something cold. So you have all these instincts and impulses in a person's body. They are our physical requirements. Now, that is at one plane. The other level is our mental, intellectual, emotional needs. These are on a higher plane. It's not that we just live in our body, but we transcend it. We move beyond it. All right? We move beyond it. And we try to understand our spiritual world. We try to move into another sphere of achieving. Sorry, there was a bit of interruption and I lost trend of what I was saying. So, like I said, on one hand, we have our physical self and the needs there. On the other hand, it's our intellectual, emotional being, our spirit. And in our spirit, we want to achieve dreams, we want to meet goals, we want to do all kinds of things. How do we find the balance between instinct and our noble aspirations? So you see, we have moved to another plane. These perturbations, this perpetual jar of earthly wants and aspirations high come from the influence of an unseen star, an undiscovered planet in our sky. See, when there is a clash, there would be clashes between our instinctive needs and our spiritual needs. Definitely, there would be clashes because sometimes we are not able to fulfill our physical needs, and that interferes with our ability to realize our dreams. All right, so there is always um, this sense of uneasiness, disturbance between these two areas, and there is this uh, disagreement, discord, this perpetual, continuous jar, clash between these things. And here, he has worked a metaphor in the perpetual jar. The jar is like a human body, a container with all these contrary things, all right, floating around. So, how is the balance met? We are able to maintain the balance because of these polarities in our lives. And these balance where does this balance kind of lead us? Once we have taken care of our physical needs, we want to discover things. We are curious about the earth we live in. We go for uh, you know uh, realizing our dreams, and that is when we are influenced by curiosity to find out what is beyond our periphery of knowledge. And here we have to accept what he says, because long back people thought earth was flat, and then as time went on they discovered that earth is spherical. All right, so uh, there are so many things that are undiscovered, and we keep on moving from one higher plane to another plane of discovery. So we are thereby connected to the future. Time is a continuum, right? It reaches out to the future and it touches on our past. And as the moon from some dark gate of cloud throws over the sea a floating bridge of light, across whose trembling planks our fancies crowd into the realm of mystery and night. Now, just like that, so from the world of spirits there descends a bridge of light, connecting it with this, over whose unsteady floor that sways and bends wander our thoughts above the dark abyss. So that's what happens. Now he's giving us a fantastic image, total imagery. And just like he says, the moon that shines, from some dark crowd, it throws a slant, a pathway of light, which seems like a bridge, connecting. It throws this pathway of light, which reaches the sea. All right? Later. If you don't mind, later. I'll finish in a minute. Yeah, tomorrow. Another 10 minutes. So I'm sorry for this interruption. Somebody has come and is waiting for me, but I don't want to interrupt this because this is one of the most amazing part of the poem. So the poet says, just like a pathway of light from the moon emerges from a dark cloud and touches the surface of the sea, acting like a floating bridge. And across this trembling planks, this light is it's not very steady. all our fancies, our imagination crowd, and they move to the realms of mystery and the night, to a place which is unknown for us. We are carried forward just like that. Now is the comparison. The world of spirit there descends. This world of spirit comes through to us like a bridge of light, connecting with this world of ours, this reality, this real world of ours. And this world now is a shaky floor. It's not a fixed, a very steady, stable element anymore, because our fancy, our imagination is taking us over swaying, moving pathways, moving, curving, bending pathways. And our thoughts are meandering, wandering over this dark abyss, this uncharted world. Look at the way the poem, moves from the beginning to the end, where time is presented, like I told you, as a continuous, um, you know, um, what do I say? As a continuous thing, okay? Something that goes on, takes us, comes to us from the past and takes us to the future. And when we look at it, we suddenly realize that houses, the world, earth, the jar, all these things are, you know, containers. Uh, it is limited and yet it is unlimited. It's amazing. It's something for us to really think about. So, with that, I'll come to the end of this poem. And if you do like the explanation, the interpretation, the analysis of the poem, do hit a like. And I would like to thank the one person who stopped by here and left a comment for me. That was so kind of that person. I'll try to cover more and more of 10th portion of ICSC. Thank you so much, and bye for now.